Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Daria. I'm a self-taught graphic designer, illustrator, and content creator. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a very painful topic for creative people, I think, the creative block. I'm sure that almost every creator reaches a point in their practice career when they feel like they're just out of ideas. For me, that was painful. Long story short, it was a very strenuous week. After I published the video, I woke up the next day and I was like, I have no ideas. Like, what do I do now? It's over for me. Like, I'm done. And then I opened my YouTube notifications and there was this comment and it completely made my day. Can I just read you a tiny piece of this comment? It literally cured my creative block. It will become more and more natural for you to create. Always remember that with consistency, you can only improve. Tomorrow will always be better than today, and today will always be better than yesterday. I'm convinced that you will grow quickly because it shows that you have so much passion for what you do. Get your shit together and go do cool stuff. And I was like, yeah. So today we're talking about the creative block, and sometimes it's kind of on a quick, shallow level when it just feels like a bit of a moment of laziness or even procrastination, and all it takes is just getting yourself down to work and everything is fine. But then there are moments where this creative block almost feels like a burnout. I found some strategies that really help me become better at avoiding it in the future. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you some strategies to overcoming and maybe even eliminating creative block. Yeah, with all that being said, let's just get into it. You can say, Daria, if you're not in the mood for creation, don't create. Go do some other stuff. And I would say that depending on inspiration is first and foremost the biggest mistake that leads to creative block. Many times during those moments of like mind blankness, the best thing that you can do is just simply get down to work. Inspiration oftentimes is not something that comes out of nowhere. And then those like light bulb moments where you're like, oh my God, why didn't I think about that before? It's just simply the result of you working and being disciplined for hours and hours before. There is this brilliant book, The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, who is a record executive and producer, and he talks about those light bulb moments that are the result of hours and hours, months or years of creative experimentation. Creativity, it has to be nurtured, fueled by hard work, and that's when it starts working for you rather than you being dependent on those inspirational moments. Otherwise, you will just keep chasing the momentum, which may never even come. Just get yourself down to work and see the magic happen. Another strategy for getting your mind going is completing mundane, routine tasks. Those actions that feel like habits and do not really require you to overthink them. In this way, you kind of allow your brain to wander and explore new ideas subconsciously. Sometimes the greatest ideas and concepts come to us when we don't sit down and process and think about them. For example, showering or bird watching or walking alone in silence. For me, such activities include making breakfast and dog walking. Giving yourself some context, I eat the same thing every day for breakfast. So when I'm making breakfast, it allows me to not concentrate on which ingredients I'm using. I just do it all on autopilot, which allows my mind to wander around and just to not concentrate on my actions. Dog walking, it's a tiny bit different because sometimes I listen to a podcast, so that gives me some information to focus on. But when I'm walking in silence, and because I'm taking completely the same route every single time I'm walking, I don't have to process our direction. Again, walking on autopilot and just allow my mind to rest and do its thing. So yeah, try adapting some habits that could free up some space in your brain for mind wandering. Losing control over your thinking process may help your creativity to come up with the most beautiful ideas and turn into the most beautiful projects. The following block of ideas is related to those moments when you feel like your creative block is close to a burnout. So it's the case where getting yourself down to work may not be the best strategy. If you open your laptop, you're just gonna start crying, burst into tears. It's really bad. These are more calm strategies related to making shifts in your lifestyle that could subsequently fuel up your creativity and give you ideas that you could use in your projects when you're rested. So this one may sound kind of obvious to you. I'm talking about getting inspiration from unexpected and unusual places and becoming more open-minded to new ideas. So for example, if you're a graphic designer, don't simply get your inspiration from fellow graphic designers or like prints and magazines. Pay attention to fashion. If you're shopping, look at patterns, look at color combinations, what's in season, what designers are using. If you enjoy traveling, look at local architecture. Different kinds of construction could inspire your layout for your next poster. Visit art museums, galleries, watch movies. This could really help to kind of level up your storytelling skill as well, which is crucial for creatives and for designers. My personal favorite is going to bookstores and supermarkets. I'm obsessed with book covers and food packaging. Oftentimes, I leave the supermarkets and the stores empty-handed, but full of ideas in my brain, and it's just such an enjoyable process. Another strategy refers to my second advice, where I was talking about letting your brain wander around while completing mundane tasks. But here, in the case when you're almost burnt out, I would suggest to simply rest. In the reality of hustle culture, we sometimes forget that rest is an equally crucial part of our lives. And overall, the concept of rest is very complex, but long story short, mindful rest, and I'm not talking about doom scrolling here, mindful good rest is great for you, for your mental health and your creativity. Let me give you some personal example. A couple of years ago, I was working on university project. It required me to do some research on colors, on fashion directions, whatnot. I'm a fashion student, by the way. So very visual task, and I was working on it for hours and hours on, almost coming close to some idea, but then starting to hate it, completely deleting everything, starting from scratch. And at some point, I got hungry, very tired. My eyes were so dry from just looking at my screen that I was like, I just need to stop. I cooked dinner. I got myself very comfortable, ordered bubble tea. Literally 7 minutes into this rest situation, let my brain calm down. This idea just pops in my head. My brain felt completely blank, like nothing up here. I'm just watching some dumb YouTube video. I spent hours and hours working on this, and now, of course, I stopped the video. I switched on my laptop again because I just couldn't, I just couldn't lose this concept. I completed the whole thing in 25 minutes. Hours and hours of strenuous work led me to the moment where I come up with this idea when I'm completely relaxed. I hope you noticed that the idea didn't come out of nowhere. It took me a lengthy period of time to explore different concepts. Our brains have this amazing ability to come up with ideas and to process our thoughts and previous actions while we are rested. Giving ourselves an opportunity to rest, giving our mind and brain an opportunity to process our work and our thoughts is so crucial for eliminating this creative block completely. You may need a full day to rest. Some people take yearly sabbaticals. There is this, I don't remember his name, but it doesn't really matter. I think he was the first person to open molecular cuisine restaurant. Is this how you call it? He used to take yearly sabbaticals every 7 years, or was it him? Doesn't really matter. To come up with new creative ideas for his dishes, experiment with ingredients, and he came back full of crazy concepts and kept being more and more successful. Sometimes just closing your laptop, giving yourself time to rest, and welcoming those happy hormones in your brain opens the door for amazing ideas. This cup is so old, but there are these little cracks inside of it. I don't know how they make them, honestly. Anyways, I'm not making any sense right now. I'm not an expert on this, but this is amazing. And yeah, let's just get back to the advice session. The closing strategy, the closing advice is more of a habit. Wherever you are, wherever you're traveling, take a little notebook with you, or maybe just use a notes app on your phone. But honestly, I think that the notebook is more cool. Doing whatever, doing all of those things that we talked before, have a little notebook on you so you can jot down the most random things. This way, you collect this storage of ideas that you can use in the future, especially in those situations similar to mine where I woke up, I'm blank. And in those cases, you just open your little notebook or your notes app and you look through those ideas and you maybe pick one that feels the closest to you at this moment. I didn't have this habit and I was like, I'm just gonna remember it. It's fine. When I come back home, I'm just gonna write it down. And I come back home and I forget about it. And I remember that I had it, but I don't remember what I had. And it's the most frustrating thing. It's painful. The probability that I'll remember it is tiny. I know that some creatives have a lot of little notebooks like here and there, near the bed, in the kitchen, in their car, in their bag. If you don't want to carry it around with you, you have them everywhere. Writing down those ideas the moment they come to you can be useful for the next time you face your creative block. And I guess that's it for me. Overarching idea here is that the further you go down your creative career, your creative journey, the more you will inevitably get immersed in the world of creation, and thus the easier it will become for you to accumulate your creativity without having to depend on these bursts of inspiration and overcoming creative block every now and then. At the end of the day, the most successful creators are highly disciplined people who really value their rest and look at this world with open eyes. So yeah, nurture your creativity and I'm sure it will take places. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would be beyond grateful if you subscribe to my channel to not miss future advice sessions for creators. I also do design challenges every couple of weeks. Feel free to DM me on Instagram at Made with Daria. I really enjoy chatting with people and I really love when you guys are reaching out. And I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next one.